Alright folks, let's talk about parental rights. These rights are not just legal jargon, they are the backbone of family life and the essence of what it means to be a parent. They encompass the ability to make crucial decisions about your child's education, healthcare, and overall well-being. Imagine the weight of deciding which school your child will attend, or what medical treatments they should receive. These are not trivial matters. These are some of the most fundamental rights we have. They are deeply rooted in our sense of identity and responsibility. When you think about it, parental rights are about more than just legal authority. They are about love, care, and the commitment to nurture and guide your children through life. It's about being there for their first steps, their first words, and all the milestones that follow. We're talking about the right to raise your kids, make decisions for them, and be their parent. This includes everyday activities like helping them with homework, reading bedtime stories, and making decisions about their extracurricular activities. It's about creating a safe and loving environment where they can grow and thrive. It's about being their rock, their guide, and their biggest supporter. Sounds simple, right? Well, it's not. The reality is that parental rights can be incredibly complex and fraught with challenges. Legal documents can be confusing, and disagreements between parents can escalate quickly. When emotions run high, it can be difficult to navigate the legal landscape and make decisions that are in the best interest of the child. Because when these rights get challenged, things can get messy. Courtroom battles can be intense and emotionally draining. Lawyers argue passionately, judges make tough decisions, and families are left to pick up the pieces. It's a high-stakes environment where every decision can have a profound impact on the lives of everyone involved, and that's where the law comes in. The legal system is designed to provide a framework for resolving these disputes, but it's not always straightforward. Legal precedents, statutes, and case law all play a role in shaping the outcomes of these cases. Lawyers and judges must navigate a complex web of legal principles to arrive at decisions that are fair and just. The law tries to balance the rights of parents with the best interests of the child. This is no easy task. Judges must weigh a multitude of factors, including the child's emotional and physical well-being, the parent's ability to provide a stable environment, and any history of abuse or neglect. It's a delicate balancing act that requires wisdom, compassion, and a deep understanding of the law. Sometimes this means figuring out who gets custody in a divorce. Custody battles can be particularly heart-wrenching, as parents vie for the right to be the primary caregiver. These decisions can shape the future of the child and have long-lasting effects on their development and well-being. It's a process that requires careful consideration and a focus on what is truly best for the child. Other times it means deciding if a parent is fit to raise their child at all. This can involve evaluations by social workers, meetings with counselors, and thorough reviews of the parent's history and behavior. These are some of the most difficult and sensitive cases, as they involve the potential separation of a child from their parent. The stakes are incredibly high, and the consequences can be life-altering. These are tough calls, people. The decisions made in these cases can affect the lives of children and parents for years to come. The emotional toll can be immense, and the legal complexities can be overwhelming. It's a process that requires patience, empathy, and a commitment to justice. And the stakes are high. The outcomes of these cases can determine the future of a child's upbringing, their sense of security, and their overall happiness. It's a responsibility that the legal system takes very seriously, and one that requires the utmost care and consideration. So the next time you hear about a parental rights case, remember the profound impact these decisions have on real lives. Now let's talk custody battles. These things can get ugly. Parents fighting tooth and nail over who gets the kids, and it's not always pretty. But here's the thing. Courts don't just care about who makes the best cookies, they care about the child's well-being. They look at things like who's been the primary caregiver, who can provide a stable home, and who's best equipped to meet the child's needs. It's a complex process. And it's not always fair, but the goal is to do what's best for the kid. Hold on to your hats, folks, because the law can get complicated, really complicated. Take, for example, the concept of equitable caregivers. This is a term that might sound unfamiliar to many, but it's becoming increasingly relevant in today's legal landscape. These are people who aren't the biological parents but have played a significant role in the child's life. They are the unsung heroes who step in when needed, providing love, care, and stability. Think step-parents, grandparents, or even close family friends? These individuals often form deep, meaningful bonds with the children they care for, sometimes even stronger than those with biological parents. In some states, these folks can actually sue for custody or visitation rights. This legal recognition can be a lifeline for children who rely on these caregivers for their emotional and physical well-being. It's a relatively new development in family law. The idea is to ensure that children have access to the people who genuinely care for them, regardless of biological ties. And it's sparked a lot of debate. Legal experts, parents, and policymakers are all weighing in on the implications of this shift. Some argue it undermines the rights of biological parents. They worry that this could lead to a slippery slope where anyone can claim a right to a child. Others say it recognizes the reality of modern families. In today's world, family structures are diverse and complex, and the law needs to reflect that. It's a sticky wicket, no doubt about it. Balancing the rights of biological parents with the needs of children and the contributions of equitable caregivers is no easy task. But as society evolves, so too must our laws. The goal is to create a legal framework that serves the best interests of the child, while also respecting the roles of all caregivers involved. So the next time you hear about a custody battle or a visitation dispute, remember that it's not just about the biological parents. It's about everyone who plays a crucial role in a child's life. Equitable caregivers are here to stay, and their impact on family law is only just beginning. Okay folks, buckle up because this one's a doozy. What happens to frozen embryos in a divorce? Are they property? Are they potential children? The law is still figuring that out, and it's a minefield of ethical and legal questions. Some courts have awarded embryos to the person who doesn't want to be a parent, reasoning that they shouldn't be forced into parenthood. Others have sided with the person who wants to use the embryos to have children. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, and it highlights the challenges of applying old laws to new technologies. Section 5. When the state steps in: parental rights versus child protection. Now let's talk about a situation where the government can actually step in and interfere with parental rights. I'm talking about child protection cases. These are cases where there are concerns about abuse or neglect. In these cases, the state has a responsibility to protect the child, even if it means removing the child from their home. These are incredibly difficult situations, and the decisions made can have lifelong consequences. It's a delicate balance between protecting children and respecting parental rights. Section 6. Food fight. Can your cooking really cost you custody? It's a question that might sound absurd at first, but let's dive deeper into this intriguing topic. So, about that Supreme Court case involving home-cooked meals and custody. You might be wondering if there's any legal precedent for such a bizarre scenario. Well, here's the thing. I couldn't find any evidence that such a case exists. No landmark rulings, no high-profile lawsuits. It seems like the stuff of urban legends. It's possible it's an urban legend. Stories like these often circulate, fueled by a mix of fear and fascination. But that doesn't mean the topic isn't worth exploring, or maybe it's just a really obscure case. Legal systems are vast and complex, and not every case makes headlines. But let's consider the broader implications. But here's the thing. While a judge probably wouldn't take away custody solely because of your cooking skills, or lack thereof, it's not entirely irrelevant. The quality of food a child receives can be a reflection of the overall care they are getting. Courts care about a child's well-being. This encompasses not just emotional and educational needs, but also their physical health. Proper nutrition is a key component of a child's development, and that includes their physical health. A balanced diet is crucial for growth, cognitive function, and overall well-being. Parents are expected to provide meals that support their child's health. So, if a parent is consistently feeding their child unhealthy or inadequate meals, it could be a factor in a custody dispute. Imagine a scenario where one parent provides nutritious home-cooked meals, while the other relies heavily on fast food and processed snacks. But let's be real, folks, it would have to be pretty extreme. We're talking about a pattern of neglect, not just the occasional pizza night. The court would need to see clear evidence that a child's health is being compromised. In reality, most custody battles are decided on a range of factors, including the emotional bond between parent and child, the stability of the home environment, and the ability to meet the child's needs. Nutrition is just one piece of the puzzle. So, while your cooking skills might not make or break your custody case, they do play a role in the bigger picture of your child's well-being. After all, a well-fed child is a happy child. And remember, it's never too late to improve your culinary skills. Taking a cooking class or consulting a nutritionist can make a big difference, not just for your custody case but for your family's health and happiness. So, next time you're in the kitchen, think of it as more than just meal prep. It's an investment in your child's future. Happy cooking! Section 7, the Supreme Court. Big decisions, bigger impact. Speaking of the Supreme Court, these folks have made some landmark rulings on parental rights. They've upheld the right of unwed fathers to have a say in their children's lives. They've struck down laws that discriminated against fathers in custody cases, and they continue to grapple with the evolving definition of family. These decisions have a ripple effect across the country, shaping the way family law is interpreted and applied. It's a reminder that these issues are constantly evolving and the law has to keep up. Section 8. So you're saying I need a lawyer? Look, I'm not a lawyer, I just play one on TV. But if you're facing a custody dispute or any other legal issue involving your kids, do yourself a favor and talk to an attorney. Family law is complicated, and the stakes are high. A good lawyer can help you understand your rights, navigate the legal system, and fight for what's best for your family. It's an investment worth making. Section 9. The future of family. What's next for parents and kids? So, what does the future hold for families? Well, one thing's for sure, it's going to be interesting. As technology advances and societal norms shift, the law will have to adapt. We'll likely see more cases involving surrogacy, artificial insemination, and same-sex couples. The definition of family is expanding, and the law is struggling to keep up. But one thing remains constant: the importance of protecting children and ensuring their well-being, and that's something we can all agree on.